Hello everyone, my name is Arun Poddar. So today I am going to discuss about unit number 4, the design lecture number 34. So in this, the contents that we are going to discuss in this video is the object-oriented design and object-oriented concepts. So object-oriented design, we have discussed about classes and objects. So classes and objects are the basic building blocks of an object-oriented design. Without class and objects, there is no object-oriented concepts. So objects are nothing but the entities that encapsulate some state and will always provide services to be used by the client. Now the basic property of an object is encapsulation. So what is the encapsulation is? It encapsulates the data and information it contains and supports a well-defined abstraction. Abstraction means hiding this data. A set of services that can be requested from outside the object forms the interface of the object. Okay, a major advantage of encapsulation is that access to the encapsulated data is limited to the operation defined on the data. So there will be a limited access to that encapsulated data. Now the state and services of an object together define its behavior. So object represents the basic runtime entities in an object-oriented system. They occupy the space in memory that keeps the state and is operated on by the defined operations on the object. So class defines a possible set of objects. So each object gets a private copy of the instance variable when created, and when an operation is defined on the class is performed on the object, it's performed the state of the particular object. Now class represents a set of objects that share a common structure and a common behavior, whereas an object is an instance of class. Now what is the relationship among the objects? So as a standalone entity, an object has very limited capabilities. It can only provide the services defined on it. So when you create an object, only whatever the services that it is provided in the class, only that it can provide. So any complex system will be composed of many objects of different classes. So these objects will interact with each other so that overall systems are met. Now in object-oriented systems, an object interacts with another by sending a message to the object to perform some service it provides. So on receiving the request message, the object will invoke the requested service or method and sends the result if needed. This means that object is used to call the methods as well as receive this request. Okay, so it invokes the requested service or methods, and always it is used to send the result to the another class if needed. So if an object invokes some services, we can say that the two objects are related in some way. Now if an object uses some services of another object, there is an association between two objects. Okay, so there is a link between two objects. So this association is called as link. Link will exist from one object to another if the object uses some services of other objects. Now if there is a link from object A to object B, okay, so A client object is able to send a message to B supplier object, and B must be visible to A in the final program. So link between the objects capture the client server type of relationship. So as I told, object A and B, A is the client able to send the message to B, and B must be visible to A, okay, because A should know to whom he is sending in the final program. So for this, aggregation will reflect the part of relationship. Suppose if an object A is an aggregation of objects B and C, then objects B and C will generally be within object A, because objects B and C together will form an object A. So in turn, B and C will be come under object A. Now what is inheritance? Okay, so inheritance is a relation between classes that allows for definition and implementation of one class based on the definition of existing class. Okay, so as you can see, there is a diagram as shown. Okay, X is an base class. So when a class B inherits from class A, that is, what it means is class B can get use the methods of class A. Okay, so whatever the methods that are present in class A, class B can use those methods. So B is referred to as subclass, or we can say a derived class, and A is referred as superclass or the base class. So B can be a subclass of A. So in general, a subclass B will have two parts, a derived part and an incremental part. So derived part will be from the base class, and incremental part will be from its own methods as well as its own member functions. So inheritance is called as a is-a relation, which implies that object of type B is also an instance of type A. So inheritance relation between classes form an hierarchy. So in the figure you can see X is a base class. So X has a Y derived class called as Y. So Y has two parts. One is the derived part that is from X, because this class can use the methods of base class X, as well as the derived class Y can have its own method. So the new methods will be in the incremental part. Next one, what is polymorphism? So inheritance will bring a polymorphism. So it is an ability of object to be of different types at different times. So the entity has static and dynamic type. So what is this? Static type in which object is declared in the program and it remains unchanged, whereas in dynamic type it can change from time to time. We have a term called as dynamic binding, which means that code associated with the given procedure call is not known until the moment of the call. So in this video we have discussed about what is object-oriented design, the inheritance concept and polymorphism concept. Thank you.